given the current economic conditions, how are families in Union County faring? I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is James Horne Jr. He's president and CEO of the United Way of Greater Union County. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Jill. How are you?
I'm doing well, and that's a question that you ask on a regular basis. How are families faring? And you don't just ask this question. You go out and seek the answer in a very deliberate manner. You've actually partnered with Rutgers University. Talk to us a little bit about your needs assessment.
Sure. In 2011, we actually commissioned Rutgers School of Social Work to conduct a needs assessment. Two parts. First, the traditional data collection, but the second more important piece for us, we feel, is once we had the data, really talking to individuals in our community to understand what the data really meant to them, how were families doing, how were professionals doing in terms of serving people in our community, and that was very interesting information for us to gather.
And you say it's essentially a tale of two counties, if you will, that some families are doing well, they're doing fine in this economy, but other families are really struggling right now.
Well, yes, and then our focus on health, income, and education. So we look at, in terms of health, 90% of women are getting prenatal care, but in communities like Plainfield, Roselle, Elizabeth, that number is about 60%. Income for a single parent who's trying to provide child care for infant care, it's about 50% of their salary for child care. Although we see that there are extra slots out there because of the unemployment rate, most people aren't taking advantage of child care situations today. Also, in terms of education, most of our communities, or a lot of our communities, have very high test scores, high graduation rates, but in our urban centers, we see the opposite of that. Low test scores, unfortunately, lower graduation rates.
So a variety of different things happening within communities, but you also work with partner agencies in order to ensure that the best possible outcomes are happening within communities. Talk to us a little bit about how you use this needs assessment in order to assess progress as well.
Sure. In 2009, our board deliberately decided that our work would focus on strengthening families. So part of the needs assessment and the focus groups were to understand how best our services were actually fulfilling that promise to help strengthen families. We got some good news and some bad news. In some situations, folks said to us they still don't know where to go to get services. But in other places, we found that folks were connecting very well to the services that we were providing. So for us, it's an opportunity to really align our services and ensure that we're providing greater access to people throughout the county.
So those are just some examples, but you mentioned that you have these three pillars: education, income, and health, and they all focus on strengthening families, and this will continue to be your focus. How do you use the results of this needs assessment to move forward, to really focus on strengthening families?
Well, in this current environment, what we're learning, and particularly as it pertains to finding financial stability for families, that families need immediate help to cover the immediate shortfalls that they're feeling. So we're trying to do more to help families that are dealing with eviction, that need to find appropriate housing, that need to keep their utilities turned on. So in the past, we spent a lot of time trying to provide program content. Now we really have done some things to try to provide real-time cash infusion for families to help them in that shortfall, as well as in the area of health care, helping families navigate health care so that they can truly have access to greater health care is something that we've done as well.
Thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure. It's good to be here.
We've been talking with James Horne Jr., President and CEO of the United Way of Greater Union County. I'm Jill Horner.